welcome to your favorite podcast. It's Full Coverage with your host,
Manny and Laura.
Deep Throat Manny and Laura.
Deep Throat Manny
and Laura Lee.
Period. And Little Throat Laura Lee.
And Little Throat Laura Lee.
Who has the longest neck of all time. So
I was just talking to my assistant this afternoon about long neck issues.
Does she have a long neck
She has
too?
a very long neck, and she told me she had neck issues. And I said, when she said that, I said, well, I have a long neck, so I actually have some neck issues too, because my neck's so long, I feel like there's no support.
There's none.
And she was cracking up, and then she pulled up her hair, and I was like, oh, look at that long neck. And I was like, you got a long neck too? She was like, I do. And she said, I have a long neck, and I have neck issues. And I'm like, my theory is it needs more support.
It needs more like muscle or things around it to like get you up and upright. No, I agree. Like, 'cause like there'll be random days Laura's like, my neck's acting up.
My neck's acting up.
It hurt. I slept wrong. And like, I get that too, but definitely not to the point that you do. Yeah. Because I have a short, stubby neck.
Lucky dog.
I want a long neck like yours, dude.
Do you want to sleep on a 1-inch pillow? Is that what you want?
I want Littlefoot. I want a Littlefoot neck. I want a, what's the dinosaur that has the longest neck? Oh, it's called long
necks. They're called long necks.
Listen, I give neck too.
He does.
I be giving neck. Ugh. Thank you so much to Athletic Greens for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys.
Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/full coverage. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/full coverage to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage.
ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them.
And did you guys know every month they have millions of users on ZocDoc? So if you guys want to check it out, go to ZocDoc.com/full and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/full. ZocDoc.com/full. So we're going to start with our peek and pit this
Let's
week.
start.
And then guys, we have this really cool game we're going to play.
Oh, yeah, that's like literally the point of the video.
That's the point of the video.
Hello, shout out to Pretty Basic. Because I saw them playing this game.
And we were like, wait, we should play that for one of our episodes. It's like a game where you have to draw a card and it asks kind of like a more random question. Yeah. But we have to answer it and like you learn things about one another and like it's just interesting altogether.
It looks so cute. It's called, basically what the game is actually called is We're Not Really Strangers, I think is what it's
We got it on
called.
Amazon.
We got it on Amazon and that'd be kind of fun. We're going to start with level 3s because it's like, we already know each other so well. Like, why would we do level 1 and 2 when we're already, like, we're at 3?
We feel like that could lead for a boring podcast.
Yeah,
so we wanted to do level 3 to spice it up.
The juice.
Just
I want the hooga.
The hooga.
The hooga.
The hooga.
The hooga. Okay. So let's go and start with peek and pits.
All right. So Manny, what is your peak this week?
Peak for the week. Okay. So I went out this last weekend.
Club goer.
Being a little... We can beep it. So I ended up going out. And so recently I've been going out and I've been like a little bit more thoughty with my outfits.
You're in your thoughty era.
I feel like I'm more in my thoughty era than I've ever been in my whole life. No, since I was in my thoughty era in my young 20s, but now I'm in my young 30s and I'm like almost like revisiting every 10 years. I go back into my thoughty hole. You know what I mean? It's like a 10-year thing.
It's a 10-year reoccurrence.
It's a reawakening, if you will.
It's a reawakening.
A resurgence.
Do you think Gabby has inspired this at all for you or no?
I think so.
Gabby's been real skanky.
She's way past me.
Yeah.
Clothing wise. And it's like, it is inspiring because I love it. And I just like having friends who are like about that. Like, you do you. Like, you fucking do that. You live the fantasy and you do whatever the fuck you want. So but it's, you guys, mind you, I'm like literally not in anything crazy. I'm literally like in jeans, but like my shirt is like slightly cropped.
Yeah.
But like I have a jock strap on so you can see it a little bit. Like
there's the thought.
There's like the slight thoughtier vibe.
We knew it.
You knew it was coming.
Yep.
So I got hit on record breaking for me in one night 7 times.
So Thoughtalina came out, and all of a sudden they're lined up.
And suddenly the boys are at the yard.
The boys are at the yard.
Did all it take was a crop and a thong?
That's all it took.
Or a G-string?
I feel like it is, like, especially when you specifically go out to West Hollywood and you wear that, I feel like it's like
more suggestive.
It is more suggestive. Like, it's okay to hit on me. Like, I don't mind it
like,
as
more
much.
Inviting it.
It's more inviting. Whereas, like, if you're more covered, maybe you don't get hit on as much, which proves it's like less inviting for conversation. But people are like, ooh, looking high. Let me just let them know.
Yeah, it's like because I got like a lot of compliments, and then they turned into like, I would say like, so 2 of the 7 were like, where's your boyfriend at? Like, where's he at? And I was like, he's at home. Sorry. And because all 7 of the people that hit on me wasn't interested, by the way, but it was still nice to be hit on.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, so 2 of them, I was like, no, my boyfriend's at home, sorry. And like a couple of them were like, what's your IG? So I give him, of course, my other IG.
Oh, because I have my one locked and loaded now.
So I can give him my Manny Moon instead of my Manny MUA. And it's so nice to have that because there's no like, it's just like more like chill me, not, it's like my Hannah Montana me.
It's your Hannah Montana.
It's my Hannah Montana. So it's like nice to have my Hannah Montana. So I got to use that. And so it was fun. It was just like nice to go out and like feel like desired in some way.
I love that.
You know? So that was my peak.
Okay, so my peak is Erin I guess it's like Erin, but she's like doing so much better in college. I feel like I should update you guys just because I went in like so much with all the drama with her. So it's like, I feel like I just have to kind of give a little update. She's doing so good. The thing she's struggling with now, because she's wanting to find a part-time job, because like right now she's doing YouTube and like that's her income, like and it's great for her and she's doing a really good job at it, but she's just like, for me and my age, she's like, I'm struggling with being a social media influencer, because when you have to make your own schedule and like you have to do all these things with no one telling you and there's no structure to it and it's just like whatever goes. She was like, I just feel like right now in my life, I'm only 18 and I need a little more structure. Because she says like Erin deals with a little bit of depression here and there, and I mean, I think a lot of people do.
Totally.
And she's like, when I'm not, we were talking on the phone last night, she was like, well, when I'm not productive, like, and I don't have a lot going on, I start to slip and I start to feel low. And I'm like, that's normal. And that is depression. And I was like, totally. But I was like, that's normal. You know, whenever you're like productive and accomplishing things and feeling good about yourself and being active, like it does help. Yeah. It helps keep your spirits lifted. It helps keep you in a good place. So I was like, what do you need to do to, you know, work on that? Like, what do you need to do? And she was telling me, she was like, I'm thinking about doing like a little part-time job. And I was like, absolutely. Totally. I was like, you should totally do it. I said, because you've only technically done one job and it would be good for you to get some more experience regardless of what it is. And she was like, I have a lot of friends now because like she has good roommates and like she's been able to go out and meet people. But she was saying she would love to meet even more. And I was like, a job would totally open that for you. So she's trucking along. She's doing great. She's like, I'm proud of her because she's like figuring out like what works for her life, what doesn't work for her life. She's questioning things. She's maturing. Growing. She's figuring stuff out with trial and error. And it's really good for her. So yeah, she's doing great. She's doing really good and she's making changes and things are happening. Things are happening.
I can't even imagine being 18 and trying to do like YouTube stuff, because like the structure that you have with school, you have to be so focused and like honed in on. So you almost like don't want to feel like you're structured in like other things, but it's hard not to be.
Yeah, and Erin's
it's hard not to be structured with that stuff.
She's like in her easiest classes right now. So she's like, she was even saying like, even in school, like it's not a challenge. It's like really easy right now. Like there's nothing to it.
Right.
And so she's just like, kind of like bored in a way. And I told her, I was like, well, technically you wouldn't be bored if you did more of the things that you need to be getting done.
Right.
I was like, you're kind of bored because you slack in areas of like all the stuff you're supposed to be doing. Like you slack doing it. Now, Erin isn't like to the point where she's not doing things. So she gets herself in a bad situation.
Right.
But she was like, how do you stay productive? You're always doing something. And I was like, first, let me just tell you this first and foremost. Do not compare your productive level to me, because I am a psychopath.
She's a workaholic.
I'm a workaholic. And I told that to Erin. I was like, do not
compare.
compare with me. I'm glad you're asking me, and I can tell you some tips that can help you feel good and get going. But like, don't say, well, I'm not as productive as her, so I'm not productive. I was like, don't even go down that road because
you'll spiral. I've gone down the road and I was like, I'm spiraling because I'm not as productive as Laura. I'm like, Laura, am I a loser?
I don't expect anyone to do that. I want people to be happy. Like, you're not going to be happy if you're constantly like trying to compare and keep up. But like everybody's life is different. Everybody's life runs different. You got to do what takes care of you and what's going on in your world, which hers is pretty different than mine. So it's good though. I'm just happy because whenever she's in a bad place and like things are not working, it's a constant.
Stresses you out.
It stresses me out.
It's like in the back of your head, you're like,
it is 24/7. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But now I'm like, oh, so nice.
You're like in a coast. Like now you can feel calm too.
We're in a coast,
You're
baby.
chilling. Everything's fine. Everything's you're living.
Sliving, if you will.
Okay, so let's go and take a break before we go into our pits of despair and doom. Be right back. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You guys, the cool thing about BetterHelp is basically it's online therapy at a much more affordable, easy to acquire therapy.
It's
you know what I
so
mean?
accessible to everyone. Whereas I feel like, therapy can cost truly thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
And finding the right therapist can honestly be something that's so difficult. And BetterHelp definitely helps to make that as easy as possible.
Absolutely.
I wish life came with a user manual, but it just doesn't. And I think your mental health is something so important to invest in. It's investing in yourself. And if you guys didn't know, BetterHelp has therapists that are trained to help you figure out what's causing, challenging emotions, learn productive coping skills, deal with trauma, and so much more.
I honestly am a huge believer in therapy. I did therapy my whole life, for different parts of my life. And I feel like whenever I just needed an extra boost of just like, mental stability, I would go to therapy. And so the fact that BetterHelp is a resource for people online when they can't find therapy or go to therapy is really, really cool to me.
As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online, plus it's affordable. Just fill out the brief questionnaire and match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/full coverage. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/full coverage.
Thank you so much to Athletic Greens for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You guys, what is so amazing about Athletic Greens and why you're seeing it everywhere is because it's so freaking good. I've been using it for a few weeks now, and it doesn't taste like super healthy, weird nastiness. It has like a really slight, tropical taste to it, which is really nice for the morning time.
It is. That's so awesome. I feel like a lot of the different mix has a not so good flavor to it, so it makes me not want to use them as much. But with Athletic Greens, they're great. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine that cost him over $100 a day, which is just crazy. I like that you can get all your nutrition in so quickly and so conveniently, and it doesn't break the bank.
With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, adaptogens to start your day off right. Helps you with energy, recovery, focus, aging, basically everything you can need internally. It's going to help you with, which I absolutely love.
Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/full coverage. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/full coverage to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And we're back. So we're going to spill some tea, and then it's like our pit is like spilling.
Our pit is essentially the same pit, but it's spilling a little bit of
We have
tea.
combined forces.
Yes, combined pits.
We combine our pits.
2 pits are better
instead
than
of
one.
one.
Yep, deodorant.
So, guys, we're working on some stuff for full coverage.
Absolutely.
And we're really excited about it. But we just got like, I don't know. Do you want to say what it is?
We just got some samples.
We just got some samples in and they were really floppy. And like, we were going to try to come out with some stuff like this holiday season. But I just don't know that that's going to happen. Because listen, I was like, I got mine in first. And I was like, Manny.
Literally one day before me.
I was like, I don't like this. It's not good.
The quality is not
Manny
quality.
was like, well, let's just see. And then Manny got his in. He was like, nope.
I'm like, wait. I was like, wait, Laura, let me wait till I get my stuff in. Got it. And I said,
ma'am,
what's going on?
What is this?
It was rough.
Yeah.
So we're at a little predicament where we're like, okay, we have to go back to square one.
We do.
With the freaking same stuff. And I'm like, dude, that sucks. It would have been so nice to be able to have a little launch for a holiday.
It would have been.
Like a cute little
It would have
thing.
been. It would have been.
You know what I mean?
But
like a little moment.
And this just can't happen.
No, I mean,
it just can't happen. It just like, we can't say yes to this.
It was undoable.
And for that, we thank them for trying.
Very much.
But
a flop.
If you will.
Flop era.
A flip-flop era.
Yeah, flop era. So, which is frustrating because I've worked with them before and things have been better. So I'm just like hoping we get back to like
back to the old
spot that I've been at before.
Stuff.
So I'm like, let's get back to reality.
I feel that.
And let's get back to the full fam.
Exactly.
Because we're never going to do something that we don't love.
That we're not proud to put our name.
Of.
That we're not proud to put the full coverage on.
Absolutely. Because like there's us and there's full coverage. You know, like this is sacred.
Yes.
You see this pink writing?
That we forget to turn on all the time?
That we forget sometimes? It's sacred. So that's our pit. We're like working on a little project, but no more holiday for us. It's so stupid. It
is. It's frustrating.
It's so annoying.
We're like, you guys should hear the little voice notes we send each other. We're like,
oh, it's so like literally this morning. I'm like, this is so stupid and ugly. That's literally what
and then the email we type out is like so professional.
This is what we think about this, and this. But to us, I'm like, it's ugly. No, like it. I hate it.
It's a flop.
Yeah. But in emails are like, thank you so much.
And this, I started it with like, this is all the stuff we love.
Yep.
But overall, it's absolutely terrible, and we will not be moving forward.
No. we need a big redirect.
I was like, I hyped it up so high,
this,
and
this,
then
and this,
crash and burn.
But everything else, no.
Shall we jump into our game?
Let's jump in.
Okay.
I'm so excited. Okay, so how does this? Hello, stranger.
Pull one and just read it and see if it makes sense.
Okay, that's what we'll do. So we have a deck here that we're gonna just go base off of. Like we can just pull from this little thing.
Level 3
reflection.
Oh.
Who is that
girl I see?
Whenever I hear the word reflection, Mulan.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
It's scarred in your brain.
Wild card.
Uh-oh.
Okay, wild card. Both players write a note to your younger selves.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Nope.
Maybe in my spare time, but I just don't know how well that's going to go for the podcast.
I don't have that in me to like write a note of like,
wait. Let's bounce off that card. If you could tell your younger self, you get to pop in to just your younger self, and you get to have a really, really, really quick, like a little jolt with them. What would you say?
I would say it's going to get better.
Okay.
To mine, because for me, when I was little, I was like
how young are you talking to?
I'm talking like 10.
Okay.
Anything, I would say like literally anything like younger than 15.
Yeah.
So really like young.
I would be scared to tell myself too much information because then you could fuck up the future.
Absolutely. Well, this isn't the butterfly effect either, though. No, we're not going into butterfly effect.
You're gonna ruin everything.
We're just thinking of like, what would you tell them? Like a little morsel to just like keep going.
I would say,
morsel,
oh my God. The thing is, I would have like 15 things I need to say.
Of course you would.
You get like one.
You get one. You get one little thing.
You get a blurb.
That's why I say it's going to get better.
The thing I would need for me to do, and I did do, and I'm happy that I did do, and the thing I would hope I would just pop in, is keep being ambitious.
Yeah.
Like that burning feeling, that overwork, like that drive that you have. Like sometimes it's felt so wrong because sometimes other people don't have. I don't know. You just feel weird with it sometimes. Yeah. Like I would be like, just keep doing it. Just keep fucking doing it. Just rock and roll.
I love that.
Rock and roll. I'd be like, just keep being ambitious.
Keeping ambitious.
Shoot for the moon, baby. Shoot for the moon.
And if anything, you fall on the star, right?
Maybe I would also throw in a little bit of you're worth way more.
Oh, absolutely.
Like your self-worth is way more. Like
Way
every
higher.
time, just raise the bar another notch, you know? So maybe that too.
Okay, let me see
Any
this
other
one.
good cards?
Let me see. Okay, what do you, so this is for me, this is for me. So
Okay.
I'm asking you a question and this is for me.
Okay.
Got it. What do you think my defining characteristic is?
You know, if I had to go off what people always describe you to me is, oh, I love
Okay.
Manny. He's so,
Blank, blank, right.
I would say happy.
Oh,
Like people always say how
they
you're,
say that?
yeah, they always say you're so happy. Oh, I love Manny. He's so happy, or he's so goofy, or he's so fun. Like it's always a very high spirited adjective that they
Yeah.
use to describe you.
Energetic. In in some way.
Yeah, in like a good way. It's always a positive thing.
A pothead.
A pothead. But I would say good energy, happiness, joy.
I like that.
Yeah, that's really great.
That's cute.
It's one of the best.
I feel like I would low-key describe myself as that too, though.
Oh, this one's deep. I don't know if you want to answer this. Ooh, I'm going to make you answer it. What about me is hardest for you to understand? My vagina?
Well, that of course. That's number one. Do you know what's hard for me to understand is I think that so it's more so about like you and Ty. The aspect of like being with someone and like having that like real connection where it's like you almost feel like this yearning when you're apart.
Yeah.
I like have such a hard time grasping it because I'm so
That makes
hyper independent.
sense. That makes
so
sense.
then when you do things when you're like, oh, like Tyler's not here, so it's like, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Because I've never felt that before.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always very like inquisitive, and I love like asking them about like their relationship, things
Is
like
it
that.
interesting to you to see us be kind of merged into one a bit?
Yeah, no, because like you guys have been together for so long, and
Yeah.
it's still like we'll just pop into each other's rooms while we're working just to say hi, and it's like, oh my gosh, I would never think that, because I've never been in a relationship for like a long time, let alone years and years and years.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always so interesting to me to be able to see your guys' relationship dynamic, because it's so different than anything I've ever
How funny.
seen. So different, so unique. And like obviously like I like same with like my parents, like I think the same thing, but like anyone that's in my life that I'm close with, that has like long partners, it's so fascinating to me because I love seeing it, because I love your guys'
That's
relationship so much.
interesting.
And I feel like it inspires me too. Like
Of
I feel like if I
course.
don't have a relationship like Laura and Tyler, I don't want one. Seriously, I'm dead serious. Like if I don't have it like that, then like I would rather be single.
I will say this, I'm really happy because I've had really bad relationships, and it creates a tumultuous life in general. If you have a bad relationship, like a toxic relationship, I've been in toxic relationships, and it kind of makes like your full life experience a little more toxic in all areas, because whenever things aren't good up here and what's going on at home and like in your heart, it makes like your whole world crumble a little bit. So I'm so blessed to have a good relationship with my husband after so many years, but it also has helped me be successful with his support and like not have to, you know, go home to a toxic environment.
Right.
You know, that
Like, you actually wanna go
it
home.
makes it hard for people to do big things whenever their environment at home is so toxic.
It's trash.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
So that makes me happy. Oh, let me ask one more and then I'll pass it to you.
Okay, Dave.
What do you think my weakness is? I have a lot.
This is so
I have
funny.
a lot of little things. I can answer it for you too.
Okay,
How about that?
Yeah,
How about
answer
that?
for me.
How about
Okay,
that?
I would say weakness. I'm trying to think, because I feel like I have a hard time finding like literally any weakness in you, but you're also like my best friend. So to me,
I think one
I'm
for
trying to
you
think.
could be like physical activity. Physical activity, I think, is a weakness
I don't
for
wanna
you.
go on a hike.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with
No,
it.
totally.
But I'm just saying, like, for you, like, that is something that you're not excited about.
do you know what I could have fucking said as my pit?
What?
Being obese. You guys, it's just like we're just trailing. At
We're
this point.
trailing.
I went to the doctor's like a few weeks back, and we did like the weights and like all the things. And I'm like sitting there just like waiting for results, like whatever. He goes, "You're obese."
No.
And I said,
you're lying.
"What do you mean I'm obese?"
The way I would have jumped out the fucking doctor.
I literally was like, he's like, not morbidly obese, but obese.
What?
I said,
No.
Sir,
No.
what's going on? Because I'm like,
Manny, you gotta quit going to the doctor.
I think I'm over the doctor.
I think
I'm done. I think I'm pulling a Laura.
Yeah,
I think I'm pulling a Laura
it's time
on
to
this
pull a
one.
Laura.
I think I'm pulling
And
a Laura.
have some inner peace here.
Yeah, some inner peace, some inner fucking vibes. So for me, I was like just really, really shocked because I was like, I feel like I'm like never been more fit in my whole life.
Yeah.
Dead ass. And even though I don't like to do as like much like, you know, like physical labor vibes, like I still definitely like work out and I still like am active in different ways.
It's more like physical activities for you, not working out. Like you're a total worker.
I would say also a big one is like the sun for me.
Oh,
the
that's
sun
true.
Specifically.
The sun will get you.
The sun gets me every time. I'm very weak with the sun.
The sun will get you.
Okay, do you know what? Okay, I'm thinking about one. So I'm thinking it's also like for you, it's good to me. I'm like, oh my God, why did she do that? Like when you won't take medicine if you have a headache.
Oh yeah, that's a big one for me.
That's a big one for her. And that's like a big thing. And like I've had friends my whole life that were like, oh no. And I'm like, why just take it? Like in my mind, I'm like, just take the Tylenol.
Nope.
But it's not even a weakness. It's a strength to you. But to me, I'm like,
you're like, bitch, you're crazy.
You said, I'll take yours.
I'll take one for you. I'll take one for you.
I'm gonna take yours.
I'll take one for you.
Like even if Laura's like fucking sick, she's not going to the doctor. Like if she's like the spider bite in your back, remember like that was like a moment.
Yeah.
I was like, are you gonna get the check? You're like, it's gonna be fine. She's very like rub some dirt on it.
Yeah,
kind of girl.
I'm a rub some dirt on it.
You're rub some dirt on it and walk it off kind of girl.
It could be toxic,
but it could be bad
for sure.
It could be bad
because there are areas.
But what if there's like something bad?
I feel like my gyno will catch it in my yearly appointment.
There we go. Oh, so you're technically still seeing a doctor every year. Oh my God.
I have to. Yeah, gyno.
Wait, you know what's funny? Because like I always felt like you never went to the doctors.
Yeah, I go once a year.
But you go to the gyno once a year.
And they kind of do.
But not the regular doctors.
No.
That's why I thought that, but I forgot that you go to a gyno.
And you know, like if something were like, I don't know, it would have to be a lot for me to go. Like something would have to be reoccurring, like a pain or something reoccurring often, or like a dark spot, or like something that just won't go away and won't stop.
Yeah.
Like often for me to go for sure, but something that comes and goes, no way.
Right.
And I'm gonna wait it out, and it's gonna be a long wait.
It'll be just fine. Yeah. So I'm very much. I'm like, if I feel any ailment going on, I'm like, let me go get it checked out. And Laura's like,
nope,
I'll be fine. And it's very fascinating to me because I'm not like that.
We're actually quite opposite.
I know in that aspect, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you could prescribe me one thing to do for the rest of this month, what would it be and why?
Read a self-help book.
Oh.
And I could, maybe I would get you to read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's like one you probably haven't read.
That's not the yellow one.
No.
Got it. I've read the yellow one.
I would get you into a
You would do me a self-help book. You sure would.
Get you into
one. Get me into a little Tony Robbins moment, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I sure would.
Yeah.
I'd get you
a little cold
and I would
plunge?
make you read like a chapter a night for the rest of the month.
A chapter a night for the rest of I feel like that's actually a really good thing though.
It is.
Like, I feel like
it's
that's
beautiful.
Actually really good and smart to do.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Take a break.
Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You guys, anytime you book a brunch or somewhere to eat, you look through a list of restaurants, you read the reviews. So why wouldn't you do that before you book a doctor appointment? Well, with ZocDoc, you can totally do that. You can see verified patient reviews and help find the doctor that's right for you in your network and in your neighborhood.
I think it's really cool because you can find doctors of all types. Like you can find, plastic surgeons, you can find a stomach doctor, you can find all these kinds of doctors on there, and you actually get to read real patient reviews. It's like if you're going to read reviews on other things and before you're buying a product, I think you should do the exact same thing with doctors. I think this is like literally the coolest thing ever. I love that ZocDoc is even a thing that you can actually, it's like scary. You never know what a situation might be with a doctor. And so the fact that they have this to help you ease your mind, because not everyone wants to go to the doctor.
We should have had this such a long time ago.
No, it's so true. Like I'm so glad that they have actually done this. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them.
And did you guys know every month they have millions of users on ZocDoc? So if you guys want to check it out, go to ZocDoc.com/full and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/full. ZocDoc.com/full. All right, we're back with another question. Manny, how would you describe me to a stranger?
How would I describe you to a stranger? I would say one of the funniest,
evilest,
hardworking, conniving. No, but truly one of the funniest, hardworking, sweet people I've ever met in my whole life.
God,
That would be my description to anyone whenever anyone asks me like, oh, like, well, like, how's Laura? And I'm like, she's truly incredible.
Truly insane.
Insane.
I'm just kidding.
To
Thank
the
you. That's very
10th
sweet.
degree. But like, it adds to the charm.
It does. One day,
You know what I
Manny
mean?
looked at me and goes, "You're so funny, but you're not trying to be. But it's very funny right now."
Yeah. So, like, that's how Laura is. Like, Laura, the epitome of like not trying, but like just does and is. You're like, you don't try to be funny. You're just funny.
So are you. I would describe you in a very similar way.
Yeah, I feel like I don't like. I think if I try to be funny, I'm not funny.
That's the
I think
thing.
naturally, like I'll
It
just
just
do funny
rolls.
things and just things just happen.
Yeah.
I can't try because if I
Yeah.
try too hard, I'm like I look like a try hard. I'm like a fucking loser.
It could be corny.
It could be corny,
Yep.
cringy, corny. You know,
Cringy,
like
corny.
I've been sending you some cringy, corny content recently from people.
You gotta stop. You sure have.
I have been.
You sure have.
It's been one of my more guilty pleasures recently is sending you cringy stuff. Literally. Okay. What am I most qualified to give advice about?
Oh.
Like most qualified. What do I give good advice
Being
on?
a receiver in sex. Because Manny told me this story
Yes.
from this week, and the things
Oh, yes.
that Manny has experienced, and I swear to God, there's no one else on earth that has experienced some of the things that he has experienced sexually. And like, as soon as I think I cannot be shocked,
I shock
he
ya.
shocks me.
I shock you to your core.
He shocks me down to my butt.
The one that I just told you recently.
The one you told me
That
recently.
one goofed you good.
And the thing is, I've heard 100 of these stories, but the thing is, that one shocked me.
That was a wild one.
Things
though.
happen, Manny. There have been so many.
There's been
that have
the
just
boat,
like the boat, the back picker,
the back hair puller.
the one that went MIA. Like it's just.
There's a gazillion.
There is, and every time it's something completely different that I've never heard of before. Docking. I mean, like it is
soaking. Docking too. That's a whole separate thing too.
Like
No, it's crazy.
Manny, like I swear to God, you know,
I've been well versed in
that's
many
the
things.
thing.
I'm a sex.
There are other better things, but that is just one that comes
Immediately.
to mind.
That's an immediate. I'm very well versed in things happening.
I know a lot of
sexually.
gay people, but none of them have told me these stories.
Somehow I get myself into predicaments.
It's so
I really do.
funny because in a weird way, I imagine
The
this.
toe
I
at the
see
steam
it
room?
happen. The toe,
At the steam room. I don't think I've ever told a story, but you know the toe. Like
gummy bear, the toe, Gummy bear was there. I mean, not then, but
yes, but gummy
that's
bear.
there's just so many moments. There's just so many.
There really is. I think that is something I could definitely. I'm definitely qualified
You
for.
are a connoisseur.
I am a story connoisseur, a collector, if you will, of experiences sexually. And you guys, I feel like the full fam loves to hear the stories too.
They do.
Because they're sick in the head and they love hearing my trauma. They love hearing it.
Okay, if we were a band, what would our name be? Full coverage.
I feel like the podcast is our band.
It is
like
our
in a way.
band.
Like this
I
is
do
like it would be called full coverage,
This is
or it
like
would
our
be.
thing.
It would it's our thing already. Like
It's
I
our
already feel like we already-
collaborative thing.
Yeah, full fantasy.
Well, mine was lame, but that was it. The rest.
No,
got
it's a
little-
good one.
Okay,
I think that's a good one. But what would you think it'd be full coverage, right? Something
it would be
along
full
those lines?
coverage. Yeah, this
Or something
is like
even more. Why do I
our
think if we were in a band, it'd be like a
Lanny.
metal?
Lanny and Laura
Yeah, Lanny and
and
Laura.
the Pussycat Dolls.
Yes, Lanny and the Mora
Show
and the Moras.
and the Mars.
Mora and Lanny.
That might be it.
We're gonna have to revisit that one.
Yeah.
Because that's a good. I like that. Okay, what do you think I fear the most?
Oh, losing your parents, or like something, losing a very close person to you. I think that's your biggest fear.
It is my biggest fear. That's my number one. I feel like if my mom or my dad or my brothers
Like Zaya, like
pass,
yeah.
I'm gonna need to be institutionalized.
And I think that you're not, but I think that is a reasonable fear.
right,
I
right?
do. I think it's a
And- or
very
you.
reasonable fear.
Or if I lost you, it would be.
And you know I'd be driving
Oh,
crazy, honey.
I know, and there's rain. You need to be careful. Like
We
if
didn't
I
even
lost
go
you,
there. No,
like
likewise.
I can't even think that. Shut the fuck up.
Do you see what I'm talking about? The guy's hitting himself.
Like, listen, I wouldn't be well. Like, I'm just telling you. Like, I don't do good
It's
with
a reasonable
loss,
fear.
you
It's
know?
a reasonable fear because it's life altering.
I know, and but I
Truly.
mean, it's also part of life. And
It
you know what's
is.
funny is like as I get older, I will say like that when I was younger, if you even brought up the idea of like my mom or dad dying, I would start crying. Like even the idea of it
I
made
think
me
it's
cry.
because too, when you're younger, you're so dependent. And I know you're not thinking about like, oh, I'm going to lose them and I need them.
Totally.
But it does matter whenever you're on your own and everyone's naturally getting older, like you start to, it becomes reason. There's reason
like,
behind it. Yeah.
You almost like know that it's like, okay, this is like a natural way of life.
It is. It becomes more natural.
It becomes
the older
more
you
natural.
get.
Exactly. So like, I obviously doesn't mean I would be less devastated. I just can wrap my head around it more now than I could 10 years ago.
It's just unspeakable when you're young.
Yeah, it's unspeakable,
It is.
unthinkable. And like, it still is to me, but it's more like I could understand it more as I get older, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. What do you think my superpower is?
Oh my gosh, your superpower is your memory.
Ooh,
Like Laura has
that's a
the
good
memory
one.
of an elephant,
Of a goldfish.
an ox. No, that's me. That is me though. Laura has this uncanny way of just like knowing things and remembering things from years and years and years past. Like truly, it's honestly incredible. Wow. Especially because to me, like I don't have a good memory.
Yeah.
So I think so knowing that you
It's a
do
blessing
is
and a
really cool.
curse.
It is a blessing and a curse because we've had many discussions about this.
Because I'm like, well,
they did this in 20.
well, you need to remember.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm like, wait, I didn't remember that.
I just keep everything in the back of my head, you know?
But like your recall is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
The way she can recall things, like I've never met anyone that could do a thing like this. I don't know if it's a Virgo thing.
It might be. I don't know.
Because I feel
It
like
might be.
Virgos are very organized mentally as well
Yes.
as like like in a physical aspect.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of times the Virgos I meet, they're very like, they're on.
Yeah.
They know
They know what's
things. They
going
fucking
on.
figure
They
it
know
out.
what
Like
time it
they know
is.
what time it is.
I know what your superpower is. I think your superpower is people. Like you have a way with people. Like everyone knows you. Everyone likes you. Whenever we go somewhere, you have to introduce me to like 25 people. I'm like, okay. And like the thing is, I could not do that. Like I could not have that many friends. I could not. You don't entertain people. It's just like,
No, right.
It's just like you connect with people very well. I think that's what it is. I think you're a great connector with people and people connect with you really well and they have a good experience with you. So, you know, everybody wants to come and say hello. You have a great connection. You're easy to connect with.
You guys, I love this game.
Isn't it interesting?
Because Laura doesn't like tell me about her feelings.
No, I don't like talking about feelings.
Like, when Laura tells you like, you're great at connecting, I'm like, you've never said that to me before.
And I'll never say it again.
Never say it again. And I'll rewatch this podcast. All the views will be from me. No, it's so good. But I appreciate that. I feel like that is definitely something that I'm good at.
Yeah, I think you're a
like,
really good connection
people
person.
and like understanding people, what they do. I'm very empathetic.
You are.
And I think that's why I don't like to be like, I'm an empath.
I just feel
That's
like people
corny.
connect with you very easily
connection.
and like they like to connect with you. Like I feel like you're a people person. I feel like people are drawn to you naturally.
Magnetism.
Yeah, there's a magnetism there. Yeah.
I like that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like this question.
All right, read it. Just read it.
Why do you think we met? Not how did we meet or where did we
But,
meet.
like,
why do you
why?
think that like universally we came to connect the way we did?
I personally think we had a common person in our life and we had common negative experiences with different people.
Multiple
Different people.
Multiple?
There were negative experiences with multiple people, but they were the same negative experiences that we were having from two different spectrums.
Yep.
And it kind of brought us together.
It's like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like we're in different trajectories.
Yes.
But this like thing goes like this, and like where it's almost like naturally drawn together.
Yeah.
Because remember the first thing we did, we went to like a premiere together.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I was like, do you want to come with me to like this like random ass fucking showing? It's a random
You know
premiere.
what's so weird? If some random person asked me to go to a premiere with them now, I
you're
would
so
for
right.
sure be like,
No way in hell.
I'm staying here.
Yeah, I could not
I'm
do
like, yeah,
that.
sure.
And you were like, yeah, but we had met though multiple times.
We had hung out.
We just had never been
We actually had
one-on-one.
hung out a bunch of times, but like with
Multiple
other
times.
people, and we never one-on-one. So yeah.
So it was our first like one-on-one experience. But I agree. I feel like it definitely was like the universe's way of being like, y'all have had messy ass bullshit in your life from people that you all know. Let's like bring them together to find some peace.
Yeah.
And we found so much common ground so quickly.
We did.
And
it
we were
was
just
the
like,
common ground.
Holy shit, like we connect way better than some of the other connections we've had.
And then we continue to connect and continue to not have negative experiences with one another.
And
So,
now we are
and
7,
here
8
we
years
are.
later.
And here we are. 102 years later.
Since the 80s.
How do our personalities complement one another?
Oh, I think our personalities complement one another because I feel like in spots like that I lack, you have so good. Like think for example, even like the memory stuff, like even in social situations, like if let's say if I'm not feeling it and Laura is, I'm like, okay, Laura, like you got it for us both, and it makes me like want to do it more. Or like I see you and you inspire me to do so many things that I'm like, oh, I'm inspired to do this with Laura. So it's like I will do that. So I feel like in a way that complements one another.
I think so too.
Because it's like we both go with the flow.
We do. That's another thing. We're both a lot of people, it's crazy. A lot of people in the industry are conniving. What conniving means is they're plotting. They're always like actively out for someone, or they're actively trying to, they have a lot of ulterior motives, like the things they say and do are to get something out of someone or for a reason. It's never genuine. And like I never experienced that with you. And there are quite a few people who I haven't experienced that with as well, but there are a lot who I have. And it's sometimes, specifically in the industry, can be difficult to find someone to connect with that doesn't have ulterior motives. It's just like, I'm here, this is me. When I say hi, I mean it. When I say I love you, I mean it. When I come to visit, it's just to visit.
Yeah, it's chill.
You know,
we're hanging out.
It's chill.
I think that's a huge part of it too. And like we're always like that since like the beginning. We never were like trying to show off one another or like use one another for anything. It was always just like a genuine like, yo, what's up? And like me and Laura are actually like, even though we can be like sporadic and crazy and wild and funny, whatever, we're so chill naturally. Yeah. And like the chillness from one another, I think it resonates so well. Because like if we do have an issue with something, like we can talk about it because we are so chill. Yeah. No one's like too high strung. Yeah. No one's too like anything. Like we're so receptive of each other's energy. And I think that's a huge like
and like it's okay to be a high strung person, but it takes certain people to be around super high strung people. You know what I mean? It's like everybody has their thing.
And I have moments where I will be around high strung people.
But for the most part,
I'm not.
We're not.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't, in small doses, I can do anything in small doses. But
yeah.
In reality where I'm like, yo, like I can go to Laura's house and we can watch a movie. And that's an amazing night for me.
There was a TikTok. It was like, the friends that you don't have to be on for. You can just like, hey.
What's up? We can be on like, if you're on your phone around your friend and you're having a good time too, like you don't have to even be like constantly talking, constantly going, like that real friendship where you don't feel like you have to be on, that's real.
That's a real one.
That's a real ass shit. And so when we're like even like at our house and we're chilling and we're just like on our phone, I'm like, oh my god, look at this shit. Like that's real. That's like a connection.
It's so rare. Do you want to do like one more?
Yeah.
All right.
I grabbed two. Okay, so what about me is the hardest thing for you to understand?
I like that one.
That's a good one, right? I feel like that's a deep one.
I think I grew up vastly different from you. And I think like sometimes your fears I don't understand because I was thrown in the wild, like grown up, like feral. Like feral animal, truly feral animal. Like things like where I grew up and like how I grew up was just like things don't matter, and it's just like you don't do all these little things. Like you learn how to swim by getting thrown in the lake. Like you know you stay in the sun 24. I don't know. Like everything is just so loosey goosey, and I felt like you grew up Mormon and you grew up in a bubble, and you grew up with rules, like real rules. Like we grew up so different. So like there are things and aspects in your life that I don't understand, but it comes from your upbringing. And same probably for you. For me, like why I don't go to the doctor and like why I don't do any things like that, whereas you take care of more things like that, and it's probably like what in the hell is going on here, you know what I mean? Because we're so different in that way, like how we grew up. Totally. And I mean at the end of the day, like you're always gonna be a byproduct of your raising and the way you were brought up, your in childhood, some way. All like, those subconscious things that go in your head, you know. I just like the cool thing too is like even though we are so vastly different, well, opposites attract. Yeah, absolutely. But we also respect each other's we understand. Things. Like we understand. Like I respect all of her decisions because she makes them because she's smart. Like she's not dumb. Like if Manny, if your life was crumbling due to your decisions you're making and those decisions were falling on your upbringing, I'm sure I would talk to you about them. 100%. But you're like super successful. Things are going great, and you're quite opposite from me. So I mean.
So it could work.
Who am I to question?
So it could work.
I may not understand it, but who am I to question it?
Absolutely. And the
'Cause it's
same goes for
working.
you.
It's
the same
working.
goes for you. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you're doing it, but here
But
you are.
things
By
are
the
happening.
skin on your teeth.
By the skin on my teeth. By the skin on my teeth.
Absolutely.
So it's just like interesting in that way.
It really is. And I don't really ever like the game obviously made me think of it, but I don't really ever think about that.
Did
Like
you
how we
know
had
that
such different upbringings.
Growing up, I like even through high school, I never had heard of Mormon before.
Really?
Never had even heard of Mormon. I've heard of like Jehovah Witness,
Oh yeah, totally.
Catholic, Christian, Baptist, Methodist, like all Southern Baptist, like all of
Yeah.
those, Pentecostal.
Right.
But I had never heard of Mormon before.
Mhm.
And when I moved to California, I'm sure by my 20s I had heard it, but I had no idea what it was. And when I moved to California, there are a lot of Mormons, a lot of Mormon
Totally.
temples on the West Coast. And it was a learning experience for me.
Yeah,
like
much
truly,
more.
I knew nothing.
Right.
Isn't that
You didn't know it was a
interesting?
thing.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah. No, totally.
I didn't know. And you know, some practicing Mormons, they get deep within it.
Totally.
They wear the clothes.
Garments.
No idea that was even happening.
Mhm.
I even
Mhm.
thought, you know, it's not Mormons that do this, but what are the people that marry more than one wife? That's called polygamy?
Polygamy.
So polygamy, I also thought, like in Alabama, I thought that that was something that happened like in the 1800s. I didn't even know that that was still a thing.
Oh,
I didn't even know.
But I feel like it's because it's illegal. That's why they are.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not like you can't do that.
Stop.
Like that's not a thing.
I did not know polygamy was
I don't
illegal.
think you can't like marry multiple people. Obviously, you can be in an open relationship if you're not like married, but
So
legally
is that what
you
they
can't do that.
So is that what they do?
I'm assuming. I'm not exactly sure. I actually don't know a ton about the polygamy vibes.
Me either. I just
know a
didn't
ton
know.
about
But
it.
like if you're out here on the West Coast, not that people are polygamy, you hear about it in LA, like have polygamy or practice or
For
do
sure,
it.
for sure.
But it's out here on the West Coast, so you hear about it a little more.
Yeah.
It's a little more, everything's a little more talked about here because it's more diverse out here. But there was just so much I
Totally.
learned moving out here.
Do you know what's funny is that so like a lot of people think that Mormons all practice polygamy because in the past
Well, that's insane.
there was polygamy in Mormon culture, not culture, but Mormon religion. Because a lot, how it happened was because this is like during war, like this is during
Okay.
wartime. So a lot of men would go off, so the men that stay behind would marry multiple women so they can do things. So they had like rights. Because back in the day, like a man had to like.
Is that
they
where
could-
it started, you think?
in the Mormon culture? That's where it started. I'm not sure exactly how it started, but like that obviously quickly, like once everyone came back, like, it was like everything's done.
I will say I watched. Do you remember they did like a reality TV show on it? They have a reality TV show
About
for everything.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember what it was called. They had
Sister
one.
Wives?
Yes, that's it.
My mom watched Sister Wives.
I watched it,
She's,
and when I
like,
tell you, my
obsessed.
brain fucking exploded
Exploded,
out of my
100%.
head because I was like, "What?"
It's
What?
shocking to me. Like for anything that's not like in a like back in the 1800s when it was like for rights.
Yeah.
Like if it's not that,
Yeah.
it's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. Like
Well,
any of it's weird to
the
me.
white, like exactly what you could imagine in your head is happening
Is
is
what's
happening.
happening. Mhm.
Do you think that the women hate each other and are arguing and fighting for the men's attention? Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening. Like they're constantly
Like
at each other, and that's like
why
the show.
why do you get Tuesdays?
Yes.
I want Tuesday and Wednesday.
that right there. That's
a
what
wrap
it
for me.
is.
It's
And
not
like
gonna
I'm
work.
the main wife.
That's so fucking weird to me.
It is.
And like also like why does the guy get the one that gets to have all the girls?
Oh,
like why can't it be a girl that have a bunch of
The thing
guys?
that irked me about watching the TV
Like,
show was
ugh.
how the women would like fight over this lame ass
Like, why are you
man.
fighting? Yeah, why are you fighting over his lame ass?
Like what the fuck?
Like I hate
like you
that.
know you don't have to do this, and it
Right.
would be crazy because they would have like such young girls, and then she would start practicing polygamy. Like she would marry like an older man with a bunch of wives, like get bought into the family. See, to me,
That's weird.
I was like strange, but anyways,
To me, that's weird. I'm not
not about it, not
about
into
it.
it.
Not approved by me.
Well, you wouldn't have like 3 or 4 boyfriends. No, me either.
I sure wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
But I think that's it for today's episode, you guys.
That's
That was
it.
fun.
This was so much fun.
That was a fun game. I'm glad we got to play.
Oh my
Like, that was
God.
cool. I mean, there's like so many more too that we could always, if we want to just a part tour,
Honey,
we could totally make that
we're
happen.
into it. So anyways,
I
thank
love
you
it.
guys for being here and watching. We will see you guys next Friday. Be sure
Yes.
to rate, comment, like, and subscribe.
Comment down below. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Bye.